I need to make some new jaws for my bench vise here. These have the serrated edges or surface, which sometimes can damage parts you put in there. Clamp them down tight enough. I've got these plastic or rubber inserts that you can put in here, but they make it stick up a little higher, and sometimes you just can't tighten it down enough to get a good hold on something. So I think I'll make some new jaws, and I don't have any steel here, so I think I've got enough scrap aluminum. I can make a couple aluminum jaws to replace these. So I'll take these out. See if I can't find some aluminum around here to make those out of. There's my little small scrap bin of aluminum. This piece here might be big enough. Yeah, that would make one of them. I've got some more over here that I got. That piece there might make both of them, or use that other one in this one. Let's see if this is big enough to get them both out of. Let's see, 10 3/8, 10 7/16. So these are just under 5, so we should be able to get them both out of that. Not quite thick enough to go that way, so we'll have to go this way. So we'll have to do a lot of milling. I could cut some of it on the bandsaw, but it wants to lead off so much and get so hot sometimes, so might be better off just to mill it down. I think I'll go ahead and bandsaw this little curve at the end of this piece on both ends. Give me a somewhat flat surface to start with. I'm going to have to cut this thing in half. I've only got a 2-inch vise on my mini mill, plus the travel on it is only about 8 inches, so this is a little over 10, so I'm going to have to cut it in half to mill it down. I would do it on my CNC router, but I can't fit the fly cutter into the small chuck ER collet on the router. It's only take about a 1/4 inch, and I think that's a 1/2 inch shank on the fly cutter. We got one side milled flat. Now we'll deburr the edges, turn it over, and mill the other side flat, and that will become the height this way. Then we can mill it down this way in thickness, and we don't have to go this thin. We can leave them a little thick if we want. So let's go back to the mill and do that. Okay, the first one cleaned up at 850 thousandths thick here. This one, before we cleaned up the second edge, is 918 thousandths. So we'll mill it down as close as we can to the 850, and then I'll try to put them both in the vise together and take a few more thousandths off. These here are measuring, I think it was 826 thousandths, so anywhere as close is good. So we got to take about 68 thousandths off this one to get it close to the 850. And then, like I said, we'll put them both in the vise and mill them a few more thousandths down to get them perfectly the same height. Now we'll mill the sides down, get it a little thinner. Take about, to get as thin as the other, we have to take about 1/8 inch off each side. So we'll take some off each side and see what it looks like. Okay, we finished milling both pieces down to size. Now we're going to square one end up on the bandsaw, hit it on the edge sander, and then cut it to length. I believe these bolts that are socket cap screws that hold the jaws in were metric. It measures about 5.8 something, 5.85. So we're going to use a 6mm drill bit and counterbore with an 11mm. That looks like what they used to counterbore the hole Looks like it's a little bit tapered in there. So that's what we're going to use. Well, that turned out nice. It's going to work all right.